Formed in 1999 in Austin, Texas, the Octopus Project is a team of 4 multi-instrumentalists who spend as much time moving on stage as they do playing. To consider their act just any normal concert is to underscore their unique brand of creative energy and expression. They are currently on tour with fellow Austin musicians Explosions in the Sky. Josh Lambert, Todo Miranda, Yvonne Lambert, and Ryan Figg were nice enough to sit down with WRIR News at their show at the National. Beyond the music, their stage setup is a beautiful blacklight collage filled with bright colors and flashing hues. One icon that has been with the band for some time is a large speaker stack covered with a white sheet and laced with Christmas lights. Toto explains the object.
No, that's David. He, sometimes when the beats aren't loud enough, he shouts them a little bit louder so that we can hear.
In older music videos, a similar stack, then green, can be seen.
That was a previous incarnation. David also has another friend named David, who is sometimes with us. He's currently replaced by the neon totem pole. It's there to keep the beats pumping, to make sure that the whole thing doesn't fall apart if we can't hear it.
It was a fun and easy way to make our boring speakers look crazy and, just interesting, fun.
Creating such a stage show is no easy task, and it has been a long undertaking for the band. Josh said the larger hued lighting was their most recent addition.
We sort of worked things up from, absolutely no kind of interesting things happening at the shows in the beginning to things here and there to video, and then finally to kind of like working on lights lately. I don't know, it's kind of always a process. It's always something new each time we go out, but
I think we're at the moment kind of at medium nuts as far as stage stuff goes. Sometimes it gets super nuts. Right now I'm okay with it. I think it's medium nuts.
The video collages, which project behind the band, are random images, kaleidoscoping cartoons, and sometimes even appear to have some sort of loose narrative. The Octopus Project, in what could be a tribute to the modern short attention span, jumps between instruments at breakneck speeds. It appears organic, as if the band intuitively knows what to do next, playing off one another. But Josh said the band is well practiced.
The shows are definitely way rehearsed. I mean, we have things down pretty to a T. I mean, there's some leeway here and there, especially when things break, which happens a lot, pretty much every night. But we just sort of roll with it. But otherwise, I mean, we're really practiced and like know exactly what each person hopefully is doing. We're pretty much the perfect band, I think.
I'm not saying we don't have band practice a lot. Just to hear it phrased that way.
Yeah, we are very practiced.
A certain level of chaos that just kind of elbows its way into the situation at any given show, which, I don't know, keeps it fun, if a little insane.
We know where we're supposed to be and when, but the rest kind of falls out in different ways from show to show.
The musical style is fast-paced and builds heavily on layered beats and arpeggiated chords. This creates a fantastic blend of haunted melodies that allow the band to slip between indie post-rock and electronic in styles. Josh said the live performance is structured that way before their sets, but the complex system of samplers and loopers is adaptive.
Only technically one loop pedal, but we have a bunch of things that we can just kind of hit every, or when we are supposed to, hopefully, that are triggering loops and different sounds, samples and stuff like that. I think we all kind of have a little bit of that each in our areas. There are a lot of like the beats, the backing beats and stuff, or a lot of them are pre-programmed, but Toto kind of, a lot of them are chopped up into like segments where we can sort of trigger them on the fly. So it's, if we want, a section to go longer, or if we miss hitting something, it will go longer, and then we can grab the next go around. So we're still triggering things. We're not like, actually playing like, computer beats with our fingers or whatever, but we're hitting samples and loops and then playing on top of that.
The album versions of songs are fast-paced and energetic, but their live show puts that pace to its breaking point. Toto said there is a process to converting a pre-recorded song into a live presentation.
The song's usually written pretty independent of the way we're going to play them live, so then after the song is together, then we'll kind of figure out how we can do it and break it up into the smallest piece that still makes sense to play with, kind of make it as directly controllable as possible until it's a little bit too much, and then back it up a few steps to where the computer does a few more things for us and find the sweet spot.
The Octopus Project released their most recent album, Hexadecagon, last fall. AllMusic.com called the album as smart as it is joyful, and it's a fair statement. Josh said the band is rarely stationary when it comes to producing new work, and their newest release played on elements of their new elaborate stage show.
I feel like, we're always working on new stuff, but the newest record in particular is kind of a different beast in that we sort of, like, after we were touring about a year and a half ago, just decided it was time to work on some new stuff, and really excited about doing like a surround sound kind of thing with sounds kind of spinning around the room and like bouncing back and forth, and something that we had never seen anybody do before, but we felt like might be technically possible. So as soon as we got home from tour, we started working on the technical aspects of that, and then once we figured that out, started writing songs, and then we also did like surround videos. Like we had a bunch of projectors kind of in sync with the music, doing this kind of installation kind of show thing where we were in the middle and then the audience was around us, and then
we basically pieced together an 8-speaker surround sound system and made it work. It was really
challenging.
challenging.
It took a few months to kind of figure out how to make it work and write the songs, and then we did a couple shows at South by Southwest last year, and afterwards really liked the songs and the kind of the whole idea and aesthetic of everything, and decided to make that into a record.
One of the band's most exciting moments was when they went to last year's Moog Fest. There, they were invited to open for 80s electronic superstars Devo, an honor to say the least. Their dreams were almost dashed when they were told guitarist Bob Mothersbaugh had a hand injury and Devo was going to bail on the show. But just as God closed the door, he opened a window, and the band was asked to be Devo's backing band for one song.
So we figured out a couple of songs driving from Tucson, which was the last show of our tour, to Asheville, which was where the festival was happening, which is like 3 days. Figured that out kind of in the van and in friends' living rooms, and then got there and we're kind of like, how do we play this? On sound checking on the stage in North Carolina, and the two of them walk in and like, oh, okay, you guys want to do this one? And we were screwing around with a bunch of different songs and ended up playing 2 instead of just the one, and got on pretty good with those guys, and the show was nuts and it was fun, and then we ended up weaseling our way onto their tour when they rescheduled with the healed hand.
The Octopus Project is on tour through the end of April with more dates to be announced. For Richmond Independent Radio News, I'm Brad Kuttner. To see an HD version of this interview, see 2 songs performed live at their national show, or to read other stories, check out our blog, www.wrirnews.blogspot.com.